All right, it is September 10th. This is the first of two special meetings. If the town clerk would call the roll, please.
Mayor Allison Dennington.
Here.
Vice Mayor Don Barlow.
Here.
Commissioner Robert Baldwin.
Here.
Commissioner Anna Butler.
Here.
Commissioner Tim Reed.
Here.
Town Attorney Ryan Knight.
Here.
Finance Manager Jennifer Kerr.
Here.
Town Clerk Amber Brown is also present.
All right, we will stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, now we are at item 4. This is a special meeting. We only have one item on the agenda. You'll be able to comment before we take any votes as to the items on the agenda. This is your opportunity to speak for 3 minutes on any item that is not on the agenda tonight. So come on up. You don't need to raise your hand, just come on up. Say your name, make sure it's green when you get to the microphone, and say your name and address, if you will.
On 9/5/2025, I received an email from Melbourne Beach Mom.
State your name and address.
Yes.
Excuse me?
You didn't state your name and
Name and
address.
Yeah, you don't know that by heart, right? Steve Walters, 416 6th Avenue, Melbourne Beach. On 9/5/2025, I received an email from Melbourne Beach Mom. She forwarded an email she received from Diana Young, GIS Coordinator, Brevard Supervisor of Elections. Her phone number is 321-343-5633. That response was from a records request from this Melbourne Beach Mom. And what she determined was that on the April 1st, 2025 election, and again on June 10th, 2025, District 32 election, candidate Terry Cronin voted in Indy Atlantic. Now, the law requires you to live in the county or in the district that you're voting in. Said that it also stated, the return email, that he changed his address from 150 Riverside Drive to 1399 South Harbor City Boulevard on 12/16/24, and then switched back to 150 Riverside Drive on 2/3/2025. A month later, a little more than a month later, he changed it back to 925 North A1A, apartment 206, which is what he registered when he voted on both those election, District 32 election. Then on August 4th, 7 days before our qualification, he switched it back to 150 Riverside Drive, 6 days before qualification. On August 11th, he announced he's running for town commission. His willingness to serve statement indicated he had resided in Melbourne Beach continuously for the previous 6 months, and he signed that form. I'm assuming it was notarized. On August 20th, 2025, under oath, at 1313, Mark 1406, during our Melbourne Beach special meeting, he swore that he was a resident of the town for the previous 6 months and maintained that address continuously for 6 months. Based on his oath here in this room, the town commission ordered that his name be put on the ballot. So I'm here tonight to ask you to you can look into this, you can call this woman and verify. Since he was not a resident here until August 4th, obviously he wasn't here for 6 months. I'm asking the town commission take the appropriate action. Thank you.
I'd like 1 minute to just respond, as is allowed under our rules, because there were some questions. I was aware of these dates. I did receive phone calls from more than one person prior to that qualification meeting with information along those lines. I made a public records request, went back and forth with the County Board of Supervisor elections, and they provided me those records, which included those dates of changes. I spoke to the town council. Residency is a tricky thing. Somebody could reside in Melbourne Beach and they could perjure themselves on various forms But the issue of whether they reside or not, that is why I did not want to get into a documentary war. I just decided, along with council's advice, that putting everyone under oath, particularly the person who had this documentary, conflict, was the best way to go about it, because the clerk is not, she has a ministerial duty. If she knows that someone has lived next to her mother in Michigan for 20 years, including yesterday, but they file a form and they swear under oath they lived here, she can do nothing about it. The candidate did swear under oath living here for 6 months. Continuously. Whether or not there is some other action by other law enforcement as to the voting on those various dates, very well could happen. But there's nothing I believe that we can do. We did our duty. We asked. We took testimony under oath. And beyond that, I believe that we can't and shouldn't do anything. It's not for us to judge whether somebody has been truthful in form or not. We took testimony under oath, and that was what I felt was proper. So, next public comment.
Good evening, Susan Stark, 307 Fifth Avenue. To the members of the Melbourne Beach Town Commission, as you know, I have sat in your seat twice in the past 24 years. I was appointed both times to fill vacancies in 2001 and 2010, and from my own experience, I know the challenges and criticisms that you face. I feel it is my responsibility as a 34-year resident and active citizen in this community to speak up and speak out today. My hope is that my public comments might help extinguish some of the anger and frustration spreading like wildfire in our 1 square mile town. This is my when you see something, say something, but with a twist. Offer some positive, proactive suggestions to make things better. I'm here tonight to ask the 5 members of the Melbourne Beach Town Commission to proactively communicate with each other and make a clear commitment to the residents of the town of Melbourne Beach that you will make it your priority to identify and take action expeditiously to add some very specific items to your to-do list for regularly scheduled September, October, and November meetings, as well as any other special meetings and/or workshops that are able to be scheduled to address a very serious public safety issue brought to the Town Commission attention on 2/5/25. Here's my input that has evolved after a month-long quest to become informed, investing over 100 hours to gather relevant facts and contribute meaningfully to the broader community discussion on a vital public safety issue facing our town. It can be as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, take action to address the public outcries about the cost of recommended changes to MBVFD in both the staffing delivery model and scope of essential emergency services through an actual balanced budget for fiscal year 26 without significantly impacting the millage rate. 2, address the dissent from the residents and taxpayers in the town of Melbourne Beach about being removed from having input on this important public safety issue by moving expeditiously again towards formulating appropriate referendum language that presents a clear choice as to the direction that the majority of the community want for all, and after all relevant facts have been disseminated broadly. It is essential that the details of the why the fire chief made his recommendation for hiring 6 paid firefighters to expand the scope of service of the current limited MBVFD hybrid model with only a paid fire chief and part-time maintenance person is the best return on investment. 3, once the current availability of funding is adequately assessed transparently and the opportunity for direct resident input through vote is removed as distractions from the chief's risk assessment and subsequent proposal presented 7 months ago, the spotlight can be redirected back on the vital public safety issue that should have been on the front burner of focus.
Time. Could she have a few more seconds to finish?
Can somebody yield me their 3 minutes if they're not going to speak? Or
Yeah. How much more time would you like? You can request it and it can be granted if there's no objection.
It's about 2 more minutes.
About 2 more minutes. Does anyone have an objection? We don't have a huge audience tonight.
No
objection. Go ahead, ma'am.
7 months have been squandered since Chief Brown did his job and alerted the Town Commission regarding his concerns. It will most likely take another 7 months of work to work through the process without the cart being put before the horse, to find the best solution that provides the best available emergency services that money can cost effectively buy for our residents. In the meantime, I am personally asking my neighbors and town leaders in Melbourne Beach to overtly put forth more effort to positively engage with the Melbourne Beach volunteers beginning today and ongoing through Fire Prevention Month in October. These men and women, many of them your neighbors, have earned and deserve to see, hear, and feel some heartfelt appreciation from the citizens of Melbourne Beach for providing the most cost-effective staffing model for our taxpayers for 72 years. While I cannot speak for anyone else, my observation, having invested time with them recently, is that the volunteers as a whole are feeling discouraged and disheartened. It is the bond of their teamwork and the long-time volunteer service to our Melbourne Beach town residents that make MBVFD an important cornerstone in our community. In my opinion, the negative comments made in reference to them, the fire chief, and MBVFD in general in the past months are insensitive and not respectful of their volunteer service to our community. In summary, commit to delivering the best cost-effective option to provide the best and most reliable emergency services response that we all should expect from our municipal government leaders. And if the proposed expanding staffing results in an increased scope and reliability of delivery of expected emergency services, and the taxpayers evaluate that it is the best return on investment, then we, as a unified community, will vote to keep it that way, doing the greatest good for the greatest number. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Stark. Next. Seeing none, we will close the regular public comment. Okay, so we will go to the only item on this first special agenda or special meeting, which is to review and discuss the interim town manager candidate submissions and develop a short list of candidates for the position and provide guidance to staff regarding interviews. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's what I thought, 12. We have 12 submissions in the packet. How would the commission like to go through these? I have an idea or a suggestion that we could go through each just perfunctorily and check off that they meet the minimum qualifications. If any don't, we could set those aside. After that, we could go back and then discuss. But if anyone else has an idea of how to proceed.
We didn't really set any minimum qualifications for interim town manager. Are you talking about the qualifications
Yeah,
for
no,
the
but
town manager?
well, no, I mean, even whether you're interim or not,
We're just,
it
we're just saying general. You
Yeah, I
weren't
mean,
talking about the specific
we do have,
requirements.
in 2017 or before, the town commission voted, and there is a set of minimum qualifications. If we wanted to change those, we would have to
For interim?
pass a resolution to
For interim
change
town
that.
manager?
Yes, so, well, interim doesn't matter, interim or regular.
So there was a job posting for the interim town manager. There are 3 qualifications. The first one is a bachelor's degree in business administration or public administration, supplemented by additional coursework in governmental administration and management, or demonstrated ability to perform the essential job functions as identified above. So first one, bachelor degree. Second one is 3 years experience as town manager or assistant town manager or comparable experience in the field. And the third one is familiarity with Florida's sunshine laws, budgeting processes, and local governance.
Yeah, basically what we put in the pamphlet. Okay.
Okay. Familiarity with sunshine laws?
Sunshine laws, budgeting processes, and local governance.
That was in the preferred category, right?
For the brochure, for this particular purpose, for the interim town manager, it was just under qualifications.
Qualifications, okay.
okay.
But it doesn't say necessarily minimum or not, I mean, okay. So, does anyone else have an idea, or how would you all like to proceed? I mean, I'm open to
We
suggestions.
could just go down the list of names. It is just an
Yeah.
idea. We could go down the list of names, and I think if you know, at least 3 people think that person should be considered, then we can discuss them.
Okay.
But if they don't get 3 votes, then we just move on. How
Yeah.
does that sound?
Okay, I mean, for what it's worth, I did reach out to the town attorney just to ask if he had any suggestions or ideas, or even a form where we could do some kind of rating if we, you know, if we wanted to. He had said he thought maybe it wasn't a good idea to do a rating. So I do see that you've got some numbers over
have a
there.
rating.
So I know. With Sunshine, we can't. I mean, I actually literally thought of you. I thought, I bet Baldwin has like a really good system he's already come up with. I wish he'd share it, but anyway. Yes, go ahead.
I was thinking we try to narrow it down to like a top 3.
Yes, I think that is a good suggestion. But I do think we should go in a systematic order where we go through them, even if we go through sort of quickly and then go back, then more in depth. But again, I'm up to suggestions. Just because it'd be easier for the public to follow the order of the packet.
Right, so I think, I think going one by one, seeing if that person made the short list
Yes.
on any.
On everybody's, yeah.
On everybody's, and then we back into it that way.
That sounds good? Okay. All right, sorry. I wanted to get my notepad. There we go. I have my notes. Okay, so the very first one we have in the packet, which is page 4, is Christopher Edwards. And it, from Daytona Beach. So I believe he does meet the minimum qualifications. He has a master's degree in business administration, as well as a Bachelor of Arts degree in public administration. So that meets those two. It also looks like he has previously for 4 years worked as director of the Economic Development Community Redevelopment Agency. Those 3 requirements, 3 years of experience or comparable in the field, familiarity with budget processes, bachelor's degree. Does anyone have any objections on those 3 minimum qualifications as to Mr. Edwards?
Are we voting whether they meet the?
No, I'm
Or
just,
are we
no, we're just going through each one to see, as we go through, to see if they meet those 3 qualifications, which we
I mean,
posted.
to Tim's point, why don't we just go through, and if someone thinks that they meet the top 3 or 4, or however many you
Short
think,
list.
we
That's-
just raise our hand or something, and if there's a,
That's a
general
good idea.
consensus, then we can discuss them more in depth.
Okay, but I do think, I just, for the record, I would like to at least point, like, whether they meet those minimum. That's all I'm trying to do. To check off, to make sure that they meet the
But if
minimum.
we're not even interested, if there's not a consensus that we are interested in that person as a
Okay,
candidate,
all right.
then,
So
if we have consensus, then let's decide if they meet the minimum.
Christopher Edwards, is he in anyone's top 3?
No.
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 Okay. All right.
Did you have an opinion?
No, it's okay.
I mean, you're trying to get record.
I do have my top. All right, Colin Donnelly.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Gary Stevens.
Yes.
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 So that looks like a majority of that one, so, okay. Jack Butler.
Yes.
No relation.
How many are you doing top 3?
Yes, I think we should go for a top 3.
Okay.
I agree.
I thought I heard Mrs. Butler say top 3. That's her third top 3.
I didn't say that.
Or sorry, excuse me, Vice Mayor.
Oh,
Was that your second?
I didn't know that we were narrowing it just to the top 3. I had a top 5.
Oh, okay, yeah, so, okay. I think, let's do top 5 and then we can narrow it down to 3 if we wanted to, or stick with the top 5. Because then we need to go back to the start. Vice Mayor, I thought we were doing top 5. Any objection?
To what?
To starting with the top 5 list and then going back through the top 5. Okay. So which one are we on? Jack Butler? Yes, that would be in my top 5 also. Anyone else? No?
No.
Okay. Actually, I think I had a note on there about building official. Javion Brown. Top 5, anyone? Okay, Lakeisha Birch. Top 5, anyone? Okay. Lisa Frazier. Top 5,
Yes.
anyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Is this the, So that's 3?
I believe so.
Yes, okay. Patrick Jordan, top 5, anyone?
Yes.
Okay, so that's just 1. Peggy Castano, top 5, anyone?
Yes.
Okay, that's just 1. Ron Claire, top 5, anyone?
Yes.
That would be just 1. Taylor Brown,
Yes.
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 hold on 1 second. Is this,
That was 3.
no, oh, it was, okay, good. I think that I have that one, but I need to double check. Theo Melancon, top 3, anyone? Or top 5, excuse me?
Yes.
Okay. That is all. That was pretty quick. Do we?
Talk about Colin Donnelly?
Yes. At first I thought we were just doing top 3, so do you have those?
Yes. So there ended up being 4 that have yeses.
Okay.
Colin Donnelly, Gary Stevens, Lisa Fraser, and Taylor Brown.
Okay. Can you say those again?
Colin Donnelly,
Okay.
Gary Stevens, Lisa Fraser, and Taylor Brown.
Okay. When we very first started, I just thought we were doing top 3 until we got a few through. Christopher Edwards, I would have added as a top 5 on mine.
Do you want to
Yeah, so who,
check the consensus then?
yeah, I mean, we might need to do that again because I feel like we started halfway with top 3 thinking and then we got to halfway and it was top 5, so no.
So then it would just be for Christopher Edwards would be in question if he was in the top 5.
Yeah, who had top Christopher Edwards in top 5? Did anyone? No. I thought it had some. Okay. All right, so we have 4. Is that correct? Colin Donnelly, Gary Stevens, Lisa Frazier, and I cannot read my handwriting. What was the Taylor Brown.
Brown.
All right, so Colin Donnelly. Okay, Colin Donnelly starts on page 11. How would you all like to proceed? I mean, we have 4. What do you want to discuss? Do we want to ensure that they meet
Yep.
just for the record?
Minimum
Yeah.
qualification.
Okay, so it looks like some of these, sometimes they were out of order, so like they would have the degrees later, but on page 14, it looks like Mr. Donnelly has a master's in public administration, May 2000, as well as a bachelor's from Rutgers in May 1991, so that meets that requirement. He's also been an assistant city manager and a town manager in Newton, New Jersey, assistant Bellevue, New Jersey, as well as an assistant city manager in Dania Beach for 10 years, as well as a grants administrator for 5 years in Dania Beach. That I have starred.
And just for the record, I am not the Robert Baldwin that he mentions among his business references there.
It's such an unusual name. I can't imagine that there's
Yeah.
more than one Robert Baldwin.
Did not live in Dania Beach.
I do know some of the folks over in Dania Beach. I did ask the town attorney if I could call, and he said that there was no prohibition, but he would rather I not, so I did not.
I said I'd rather you wait until
I
we
know.
develop a short list.
And so I did not. Thank you for your, is there any other discussion about Mr. Donnelly? I mean, Mr. Knight, how do you suggest, because when we spoke, you did say you thought it would be a good idea for us to narrow it down, because what we do is, there is a procedure, we'll do background checks. So it would be nice to not have 12 background checks, to have a shorter list.
Yeah, so you have narrowed it down right now. The question is, how many candidates do you want to proceed with? It can be 2, it could be 3, it could be 4 at this point. But essentially moving forward, once we get the short list, then the references would be checked, just to give you an overview, and then interviews would be scheduled along with background checks.
I mean, I think 4 is a great list. Ideally, I'd love to be able to have a meeting. Really, I think 4 is a great list. We've narrowed it down to, 2 people are fairly local. Some of them are not too far away, so, I'd like to be able to call another special meeting to really vet these quickly and have somebody right away if we could.
So that's another question as far as how you would like to interview. You can interview them as a group, or we could schedule one-on-one interviews with each person, and then meet together as a group afterwards to discuss.
Yeah, I mean, when we did your interviews, I thought we had a special meeting, we had time set up. We were able, we all kind of had pre-prepared questions beforehand to sort of ask the same questions. I liked the way that was set up. I would love to try to do that as soon as possible. Does anyone on the commission have any thoughts, suggestions?
I don't know what you're referring to. Was that a group interview?
Yeah, like basically call a special meeting quickly and have Mr. Knight reach out to the 4 candidates and try to, coordinate availability as soon as possible to interview those 4 candidates and make a decision.
But you did it as a panel, or did you do it individually? You did it
Oh,
as a
sorry, that's
panel.
right. None of you guys were on that.
We were
I
wanting to
apo-
know the format.
I'm so sorry. I apologize. I forgot you guys were not on the commission. I was the only, so what we had a meeting where it was, I think we had 4 candidates for the town attorney. One of them didn't respond back, and then one didn't show up that day. It was strange. So we ended up having 2 companies.
That was
So
the
Mr.
default.
Yeah, so 2 out of the 4, and we basically had a meeting. The commissioners, we were allowed to ask as many questions as we wanted, but we were asked to sort of try to have them ready ahead of time. We each asked a question. They were able to respond. Went down the line, asked another question. Then they left. It was kind of like when we did the MGT. It was very similar to that. So.
But they weren't present. They weren't present for. each
No,
other.
yeah. No,
And
they
this
were
Is
sequestered.
that
Yeah,
correct?
yeah. So Mr. Knight's firm was there, and then they were sort of scheduled. And I do think we had a time limit on it, so it was, not a free-for-all million questions. But if we set a date, reach out to the candidates and try to get them here and had 30-minute segments for each one, we would be able to, between now and then, call the references of those candidates if we wished, and then be prepared with a couple questions each. We could potentially submit our questions ahead of time to the clerk, and if any of us had the same or similar question, maybe she could consolidate those, because we can't send them to each other, or we could send them to Mr.
Either that or during the meeting,
Yeah.
somebody asked the
Yeah,
question.
yeah,
and
yeah, exactly.
Obviously, you're not gonna ask it again.
I mean, we could even limit ourselves to, 3 questions each, or, I don't know. How would you?
We've gone like 1 question at a time.
Yeah.
Just backward.
I'm okay with that format if we did the group
Yeah.
interview and with people, each of us being able to ask individual questions. Efficiency-wise, that seems good. If we can get, all of them to commit to a single date, that would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it is for the interim position. So, which is fast approaching 8 days away.
Right.
So
I'm supportive of a panel interview, 30-minute segments. It basically probably puts that whole panel thing at about 2.5
hours.
hours. Two and
Yeah,
a half hours
exactly.
with breaks in between. And then I think we have an immediate consensus
Yeah.
discussion.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And, we'll do our homework ahead of time, have a couple questions prepared ahead of time. We can, a couple, a minute or 2 for the response for each person's question. We can, 30 minutes each candidate, I feel like we could get it knocked out. And,
Now, for
Let
these,
me-
for these interviews, are we talking, is it recommended that we do that during the business day from a timing perspective, or does it happen after hours?
It's really at your discretion.
Okay.
do we have the capability, because it is such short notice, and depending on, trying to get 4 people plus all of us, does the town clerk have the capability of, if they said, I'm available, I wouldn't be able to drive, I think one of the candidates, you know, I'm not able to drive down and be there on time, but I could totally Zoom in. Do we have the technical capability to be able to have them Zoom in for a meeting? Because I do think,
That was my next question.
Yeah.
If somebody is unavailable, would you
Yeah.
mind them attending Zoom? I know we have the projector. Our
I mean, we
firm,
could do a practice run, I think.
our firm has a Zoom account that I could use to project it up there, so
Yeah.
I don't think it would be an issue.
I think that would be great, because I feel like we'd be able to do it quickly, on short notice, and accommodate, you know, somebody can schedule in one of those 30 minutes by Zooming in wherever they are. I think we'd be a lot more likely to get this meeting done. Mr. Knight, so do you think maybe you could have,
I think we were asking for a response from the town clerk, so I just wanted to
yeah,
allow you.
Yes, we can make that happen.
okay.
Thank you.
Do you think it might be easier to have the town attorney's firm and paralegal help you with that? I know you're super busy, and they might have a little bit more,
So setting up the Zoom account is easy. The
Okay.
problem is the town doesn't pay for it.
Yeah.
So the free option is limited on time, I believe.
Yeah.
But if you're limiting it to a maximum of 30 minutes, we could use ours. If not, I can work with the town attorney and
Okay.
make
And
it
I
happen.
have an account, I'm happy to utilize if that's
yeah.
not against
No, but I
some
mean,
kind of
I
law.
suspect that you have one, and you guys use a lot, probably a lot more than.
Yeah, we could
than
use-
the town, I mean, like,
We can use our account, it's not an issue.
yeah, I feel like, but that way it takes something off of your plate of having to figure
That's
all of
fine.
that out.
It's very easy. We can
Yeah.
make it work.
Okay, so between you and the town attorney, y'all can figure that out. Do we want to try to talk about time right now as to a couple possible dates when we have 2.5 hours that we could put to this?
So we're going with the 4, is that we're going, our short list is 4?
I mean, I think
we haven't-
We'll have to make a
we'll have to
motion.
make a vote, but yeah.
Well, we haven't been through, we were gonna talk about minimum qualifications.
Oh,
I
yeah,
thought,
yeah,
on
yeah,
each of the
sorry.
four. We kinda got
Oh,
sidetracked.
okay, yeah, sorry, thank you. Okay, Colin Dudley, we did, Mr. Stevens. His minimum, so his qualifications, we've got the letter on page 17. I don't have my reading glasses. We have, he has a BA in computer science and a BA in management information systems, so that meets the 4-year degree. He does not have town experience as managing, but his experience of managing in the government field is extensive. So,
I would just say, I mean, I don't know him. I'm thrilled that somebody from Melbourne Beach applied, but I don't think that, I mean, he's got a great pedigree, a great CV, but I don't think that, I mean, I think we need somebody to be able to step in, hit the ground running that has municipal experience, and there is none here.
I think that as far as the sunshine law, which is very important, and we're all subject to it, but the town manager, well, there's something I could say, but maybe I won't. The town manager part is they're not a commission in and of themselves, and I do think that Mr. Knight would do a very good job teaching someone the basics of it right off the bat for an interim position. I think they're here very close. I do think that they have extensive financial experience and management experience, performance, so.
I know he's attended several
Yes,
meetings,
yeah.
which says a lot as well, that he still
Yeah.
wants to do it.
Okay, so shall we, any other?
I just think that including Mr. Stevens in the short list to have us have the opportunity to interview him, at which point, if it's deemed there's a comparison difference, it'll vet out during the interview process.
Okay, so the next, any other comment, Commissioner Reed? Anyone else? No? Okay, the next was Lisa Frazier, who I also believe is a local Indy Atlantic. And she has a Master of Science from FIT, a Bachelor of Science from Central Michigan. She's also American Institute of Certified Planners. She was a former member of Indy Atlantic Town Council and a deputy mayor. I think that she definitely meets the minimum qualifications of, degrees as well as preferred qualifications. So, and any comments?
I agree.
Yep, okay. And I thank her for applying. The fourth then is Mr. Brown, which is page Taylor Brown, which is, this one's very long. I like the detail. Taylor Brown, which starts on page 64. Yeah, thank you. He does have various relevant government experience for several years in various positions in various cities, including planning and zoning manager, assistant manager in Florida and in other states. He also has a Master of Community Plan at University of Maryland and a bachelor's degree from Arizona. Actually, though, is this the one? The education, completed 1 year of a 2-year master's program. So not a master's, but he does have a bachelor's degree, correct? Am I reading that right? Yes. Interdisciplinary bachelor's degree from Arizona State? Did everyone?
Yeah.
Which is page 75, so that is a bachelor's degree? Okay, all right. So that meets that minimum qualification, as well as the various experience. Any other comments? Okay, so we would go to public comment, but I would need a motion as to those 4. And then we could perhaps afterwards, after public comment, discuss times and dates. Any suggestions or a motion?
I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion that we invite Colin Donnelly, Gary Stevens, Lisa Frazier, and Taylor Brown to an interview process that we will conduct in a panel interview, 30-minute segments for each candidate for the interim town manager position.
A second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. We will go to public comment. Is there any public comment on the motion? Seeing none, we will, oh, come on up.
A neighbor came up to me like a couple hours ago and said they had a nephew that submitted an application in July and certified mail and was delivered to the town hall, but nobody could find it. So
I have heard
as
similar
a
reports.
courtesy-
There are some emails about that.
So just as a courtesy, if you guys could look at it. And then Mark Bauer, 206 Elm Avenue. I don't know where to start.
Push the green, push the
Yeah.
button.
Push the green button, yeah. If you do need a little bit more time.
Mark, that's okay. Mark Lauer, 206 Elm Avenue. So what you're seeing is a timeline that I actually gave one of the commissioners about 2 months ago, and I won't say who, because it doesn't really matter. But it's a timeline that went through. This is before Elizabeth actually gave her notice. But it was recognizing that you guys were going to put out the job posting for the position. And basically, the premise behind it said, you guys need to get an interim manager, ASAP. And I look at the group up here. We've got an HR professional. We've got a VP of a bank. We have a guy that owns his own business. If anybody had given their notice, what's the first thing you would do? And so I'm just shocked that we have this last-minute Hail Mary pass of let's put a job posting out on our website, and let's do it over the Labor Day weekend. And so actually people have 9 days to respond. And now you guys are actually considering it. And my advice 2 months ago was, has anybody talked to FCCMA? Because I talked to the 2 guys that did Palm Bay, and I made that clear. And I said, could you guys find an interim manager? And they go, oh, that's what we do. That's our job. And if you guys haven't talked to anybody at FCCMA, shame on you. I mean, it just like, and for these poor people that are actually, applying for this job, they're all hopeful that they're going to get it for full time, right? And so concurrent with that, you've actually got another third party that's going to go out and do the job search. It's just a cluster. Like, how can you guys not focus in and actually just do the small relevant stuff? The fact that the town clerk and the town manager now had to put this posting out and had to call all this stuff for you was a waste of their time. Like, you guys should have just gone to FCCMA, get the interim manager, and then do the job posting the right way. Don't do this last-minute Hail Mary stuff. It's really bad management. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question for you, sir. Do you know if Mr. Sullivan, I believe in his cover letter, he says he's interested in the town manager position?
Yeah.
He doesn't specify whether it's the interim position. Is he willing?
So it was done in July for the town.
So my question is, do you know if he's
Yes.
willing to serve as the interim, knowing that that doesn't necessarily guarantee that he would be the permanent?
Yes, you would.
Okay, thank you.
I would like to speak to this because I was told about this and I inquired with the town attorney. And I also said, I've been told that there are, as finance manager as well, that there are people that are applying the minute that they knew that we might be looking for a manager. And that we weren't, as a commission, we weren't given any of this information. So I was getting calls from people, are they telling you? And I was having to tell people, look, send it to them, but if you really want to make sure that the commission finds out, CC the commission, because what I can tell you is HR, management, no one is informing us. They're just receiving it, putting it in a file, and literally not telling anyone. I knew about this particular one, and I asked, and it didn't show up. I believe they sent it 3 different times. So I don't understand. I don't understand, Mrs. Kerr, why. I think 8 of these 12 letters are addressed in the letter, in the emails, Dear Mayor and Commissioners. I think there's only 2 that are addressed to Mrs. Kerr. Some of them were before we made the posting, some of them were after. I do believe that if you receive a communication, whether it's an email or not, that is addressed to the mayor and the commissioners, you ought to send it to the mayor and the commissioners. I'm not asking a question, so you do not need to respond.
I would like to respond.
No.
I would like to respond.
I'm
Please
not.
respond, Ms. Kerr.
But we have
All-
someone who applied and
all
apparently did
people-
not make the packet.
All people who applied for this position as town manager prior to you guys advertising, when they send us, anybody who sends an application or a resume gets held for 1 year. The position was
But you don't
not-
tell us.
The position was not posted. When the position is posted by you guys, then all the applications went to Ryan Knight, which is how it was processed. Thank you. Thank you.
And I need to speak on that too, because I advise that she should not be sending them out to you individually as she gets them, but rather we would send them all out at one time once the submission date closed.
But some of these went before you posted anything, and I believe.
Before they were
Excuse me,
posted, correct.
Before anything was posted, if a letter comes in, Dear Mayor and Commissioners, I understand you may be looking for a new manager at some point in the future. Here's my resume, please consider me. I do not believe that that should not be provided to the mayor. They say, well, we received this even though there's no posting, but it's addressed to you all. They believe that there may be an opportunity at some point in the future. I do believe that that should be sent to us,
Mayor.
and it wasn't happening, so.
We have a motion and a second on the floor, please.
One thing, should we potentially, I'd like to ask for an amendment in the motion, should we choose a 5th backup in case anyone pulls out or is not available? Would anyone like to have a 5th sort of alternate to request? I know at the beginning, Commissioner Reed had requested that we pick 5, and you also had wanted 5. We have 4 right now, but would anyone, we have a motion and a second, but would anyone like to consider that? Just because we are on a short period of time. And as to your comment, I've called several votes going back to December to try to go ahead and post it. I think there was a vote where it was a 2-3 vote where Mr. Reed and I tried to go ahead and have it posted. That is why we are in this last minute. But there are commissioners who have tried earlier.
We have a motion and a
Yes.
second on the table.
Would anyone like to add a 5th potential alternate? Yes or no?
We're still in public comment, I believe.
No, public comment closed. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. No, it did. It did. We almost closed it, and then Mr. Lauer came up, and then no one else has come up. Any other public comment on the motion? Seeing none, public comment is closed. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So that carries 4-0. Okay, we will adjourn.
Wait,
Oh,
can we get a correction on that? You said 4-0?
sorry, 5-0. Yeah, sorry. Four candidates, 5-0. Before we adjourn, times and logistics. Mr. Knight.
So times and logistics, the second thing that staff would need direction for is as far as references. If there's a person you would want to designate to reach out, to make the call for the references, or how would you like that handled?
I plan on calling references myself.
I mean, references are gonna potentially get multiple calls asking the same questions. I think that's inefficient.
I'm going to call specific people in these cities that I personally know. That's my plan.
So you're calling people other than the references that they,
No, I'm calling the references, I'm calling the cities and the references that I know from where they've worked, as well as the references listed on here.
I think there should be
Is-
some order to this.
Is there some
I don't think that there is a
direction that you would
rule.
like to offer as,
So I can just, there is no rule, I can just say how it's typically done. There's typically one person who is designated to reach out to call the references. That way they're only being contacted by one person as opposed to potentially 6 different people, 5 commissioners and town staff.
Which would be the most professional approach.
and
In my
it's the
opinion.
references that have been included in their packets?
Yes, so it'd only be the references included in the packet.
I don't think that you can limit us in calling the references that they include on their.
Well, I'm just saying professionally, that's normally how it's done, so you're not getting
Yeah.
6 different opinions potentially on the same reference.
Well, in my experience, when I've done this before and when we had references that I called, less than 25% of the people even call back, especially when you have a short time frame. So, you know, you can call and try to get them, but it's not guaranteed that they're even gonna call you back and get information. So it's almost, you know, you try, but
so how about this approach? How about we designate one person to call their named references, and then if you have other people you wanna call that's not one of their named references, that you're free to do that? Are you amenable to that?
I mean, I plan on calling the references that they provide. It's 4 candidates. I'm probably not gonna call every single one. I may pick 1 or 2 that I think are the, you know, more recent ones and call. That's what I plan to do.
It's another cluster.
No,
I mean, look,
There has to be some structure to it.
well,
I
we could
believe,
call a
which would
special
mean
meeting.
one person
start
We
doing
can
now.
it.
either call a special
No.
meeting and we all call.
It's like
or we
any
can call on
company.
our own, because otherwise we can't.
In any professional company, one person calls the references.
But we're not a company. We are an oversight board, subject to
understand
sunshine
that.
laws, so.
But it works for a lot of companies. It's advisable and professional. There's no guideline of what discussion is going on if everybody starts calling these people.
I would
And we
like,
don't know
I would
what's-
actually like to make a motion that we ask the finance manager who manages our,
The person who didn't notify us of any of these.
Okay, can you please
I think that the town attorney should be the one, if we're choosing anyone. He's the only.
of making a motion, you're out of order, please.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion that we delegate the finance manager who manages our HR activities to call the references of these 4 candidates.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Any public comment? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Sorry, Carrie Ross, 206 Flamingo Lane. As part of the, Sorry, Carrie Ross, 206 Flamingo Lane. As part of researching the references of these candidates, are we planning to only stick to their list? Or here's my concern, let me say it plainly. If I am an applicant for a position and I have a current employer, I do not want my current employer to know that I am looking for another position. So I'm concerned that somebody who's going to use her current contacts goes to a particular municipality under which this person is still employed, and this person is now outed as now looking for another position. So yes, is this information public in this meeting? Absolutely it is, but those people have to go look for our meeting to find this information. So I think it's really prudent to have one person and have very specific people that we're looking to get references from, and I do not think that current employers should be on that list at all. So that's my 2 cents.
Katie Cox, 1408 Atlantic Street. I worked for the town. I worked with Jennifer for 2 years. She is a professional, and if you delegate to her to take notes, call each reference, she will do it systematically, and she'll give you a report that is fair and unbiased.
Except for performance evaluations are not in files.
We don't need snide comments, Mayor, in between. Marie V. Walker, 511 Riverside Drive. Marie V. Walker, 511 Riverside Drive. Florida Tech is not a private company, and this is exactly how we do it. Our HR contacts all of our references all the time, and you know the only information you're really going to get is, yes, they worked here from this date to this date. And that's really all she's going to be able to verify.
Yeah.
And calling the employer is completely out of line, which is really what you're looking to do. So that's just not the way it works, be it in private or public industry. I don't know how many times you've done it, but we do it all the time. And that's the way it works, and it works perfectly.
Any more public comment?
I'd like to make a comment.
Okay.
I think that if, knowing you, Mayor, and knowing that you're not going to listen to whatever we prescribe, you're just going to do what you want to do, I think it would be fair for Mrs. Kerr, before you do that, and I hope you'll agree to this, to allow her to contact the 4 people and just say, listen, if you want to maintain your candidacy, just know that someone may contact other people than the references that you've given us, and allow them the opportunity to withdraw their application before you go to town burning up the telephone.
First of all, I'm not planning on calling any current employers. The people on the list, or there's cities where I know the mayors where they formerly worked.
Yeah.
That's all I
Word
plan
gets-
to do is
word
call
gets
the
back.
mayors.
We know
of a
how
couple
it
places.
works. Words gets out. That's all I'm saying. Give them an opportunity. If it's a situation like was mentioned, give them an opportunity to withdraw their candidacy.
Come on up.
Bruce Pickett, 1501
Thought
Oak.
we closed public comment. I apologize. We closed public comment, and then, yeah, we did. I apologize.
did?
We did, yeah. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Can somebody restate the motion? That Mrs. Kerr will call the listed references and report back. So you're going to call every one of the listed references and check off dates. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? That carries 5-0. Okay, I would need a motion to adjourn, and then we can take a short break and start the next meeting.
We're gonna do logistics.
Oh, yeah, that's right, logistics. Okay, time. When is everyone available and when are they not? So the 18th is our date. Well, yeah, that's the manager's last day, so we would have to extend her date somehow. So it would be, today's the 10th, 8 days away. If we could try to do it next week.
Just for your reference too, that will be a discussion item on the next agenda.
Yeah.
As far as extension of the current town manager's agreement. if needed.
We can't do that, it's not on the agenda, it's fire. You can't add something to the special agenda
Next
without
week.
calling. Oh, next week, sorry, okay, yes, yeah. I mean, my mom is available to come up and help if we have, so. What's today, 10th? Friday, Monday. Directors meeting.
So what is a reasonable time to expect to make the phone calls? Probably by the end of this week? Would that be a reasonable expectation then, or?
I mean, I would say, I think Tuesday, oh, sorry.
Not for you.
I think Tuesday or Wednesday.
I
Ms.
could
Kerr?
have them done by Friday. I mean, I could have them all called by Friday and hope to have a response, just in case no one
Yeah.
does call back. But yeah, if you want to say Monday,
Yeah.
that's just in case no one, answers my call and has to call me back.
Well, you have like a checklist where you can check off called and then like, no, they didn't
She's
call
got it.
back,
She's got it.
something like that. So you'll
So-
have a sort of systematic checklist?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can do any day next week. I mean, the 17th is already booked.
Yeah, but if we were doing it by Zoom, especially with the town attorney's help, I mean, he honestly could even set it up during the day with Zoom, so he's not driving even earlier over, or could drive over and work earlier that day. I think all of us are retired, potentially, and we do know we're all here that Wednesday.
Speak for yourself.
Well, sorry, I apologize, that's right. Oh, that's right, you are still, okay. So Wednesday wouldn't work then for you earlier in the day,
I'm not saying it couldn't work with some,
potentially? if
yeah, I
we-
could do something in the afternoon.
You could, okay. So what do you all think, Wednesday in the afternoon? And we could say Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday with a preference for Wednesday. If we could get everybody to have of those four, to do a 30-minute block sometime, preferably on Wednesday earlier, or if not, sometime on Tuesday or Thursday. Yeah,
I don't have a conflict on Tuesday or Wednesday.
I have down, we have that pump demo on the
At 3
17th
o'clock,
at
but-
3.
Yeah,
Just- That's it.
it's probably,
I could do like 4 PM on Tuesday. I could do Wednesday 1 to 4.
so you could do Wednesday 1 to 4. Wednesday 1 to 4 sounds perfect, really.
1 to 4.
Okay, so everybody, we could do some times and do a top preference. Wednesday 1 to 4, it's the same day.
I'm not opposed.
Okay, so no objection, that might be preference number 1. Mr. Baldwin, since you're the only one that's not retired in that, Tuesdays, I believe, no one else has a conflict on Tuesday. What
1 to
time on
3.
Tuesday? 1 to 3 on Tuesday? Okay. That would be preference 2.
Thursday I could do 2 to 4.
Okay, Thursday you could do 2 to 4. Okay. Other commissioners, Vice Mayor, Thursday 2 to 4.
Is 3 to 5 an option? On Thursday?
What day?
Thursday.
Thursday? What, 3 to 5? you said?
Oh, you've got
Yeah.
tennis Thursday, or is it Tuesdays or Thursdays?
I've got other
I could do till like 4:30.
Space Coast tennis, I forgot.
Till like 4:30. Thursday, you're saying?
Yeah, it's our third option too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can make it
2
happen.
to 4:30.
I can make it happen.
Okay. Okay, so we have 3 options. Preference number 1 would be if all 4 were available, 1 to 4 on Wednesday. Option number 2 would be Tuesday 1 to 3. Option number 3 would be Thursday 2 to 4, 4:30. Option number 4 would be some combination of some of those on those 3 days. So if for whatever reason we couldn't get all 4 on one day, do you see where I'm going? We could potentially, if 2 said they could do it on Wednesday, this 30-minute block, and another 2 said, well, we could do it on Thursday, it would wind up being 2 meetings, but it would be the same week. So we've got sort of 4 options. Does that sound good to everyone?
Yep.
Logistically? Okay, Mrs. Brown, do you have that, and Mr. Knight? Will you coordinate between you, finance, or HR, and Mrs. Brown to kind of really quickly get all the information out?
So I have that. I will plan on contacting
All
them,
of them.
letting them know. and
Okay.
getting this.
And then will you update us, I'm not getting responses from so-and-so, or just quickly so that we're kind of kept in the loop on whether there's gonna be a problem or not getting it all? Wonderful. Okay. Any other logistics? I think we have a good plan. If there's no further things to discuss, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Okay, motion to adjourn. Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carries 5-0. We will take a 5-10-minute recess and start the next meeting. Oh, okay, do you?
I don't know exactly when. It might be around 7.
Okay.